Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Oh, this is just one of the drippiest hoodies I've ever worn. Part of the Unwanted collection, you know? Nice blend of fabric. I don't know what the fuck it is. And I see you looking at it, and guess what? It's looking at you too, looking like Donzo with the Sharingan arm, am I right? Nice little purple outline going all the way up to the very hood. And the little skull print in the middle. I named him Timmy. Well, see ya. Did you see the thing in the back? Look at the thing that's got a cross in the back too. It's also got eyeballs. This thing's staring at everything. I can see all around me. 360, motherfucker. Sorry for shamelessly making you look at my clothes. I'm really proud of this. I really like this one. This is another one of my favorite ones next to the Rat Boy one now. It's very detailed, very oriented, and you can't get it, I don't think, because I'm pretty sure they're sold out. But just starting to what I wanted to talk about now. Deadpool Wolverine. Yes, that's right. I'm making another video about a thing I already made a video about. Why? Because I love this fucking movie. I think this movie is so fucking good. It's fucking fantastic, man. I have now seen Deadpool Wolverine about maybe 6 or 7 times, and you're gonna probably ask yourself, Church, you went to the movie theater 6 or 7 times? Don't you have like a full-time job and a life and things to do? Well, only one of those things is true, and that's the full-time job part. Other than that, no, I didn't go to the movie theater. I pirated it. That's right, I found a couple websites that have the movie streaming for free, and a lot of them are the same one. There's this one where you can clearly tell it was a guy that got in the middle of the theater, set up a camera, because you hear people cheering in the beginning of it. You can hear people clap when the movie starts off, because they see the Marvel logo, and like white people do when a plane lands, they clap, go, wee, woo, that's cool, whippy, you know, and it's really funny. But then I found this one, Supernova, I think something was happening. Supernova. I found this one website that has it like clear as day. It looks like they took it straight from the editing room. Like they got it straight from like the people that made the movie. And there's like German subtitles sometimes when things pop up on screen. Like there's when the coffee cup thing is there. It says "I like me" on it. It shows like the German words of "I like me" on it. How like in anime when you watch a thing and they hold up like a letter, it'll give you the English translation at the bottom of the letter so that way us English speakers know what the fuck they're talking about, like what it means and everything. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I pirated it. Should I be admitting to that? Well, yeah, I don't fucking care. It's a crime, isn't it? It is a crime. Well, I didn't pirate it. They pirated it. I just watched it. So I don't think I don't think watching it's a crime if someone else already committed the crime. If they committed the crime, I'm just adjacent to the crime. I'm crime adjacent, okay? That's what that is. I'm not the actual criminal. I'm a jar to the criminal, is what I think they would say. Hey, dude. I'm recording.
I know.
That was my little brother. That's my little brother. But why am I talking about Deadpool Wolverine again when I already made like a 12-minute video talking about it? That's because I don't think I really did it justice. When I did that, I would just be rambling about how good it was and all this stuff. I didn't really talk about anything because I didn't know if there was stuff I could talk about. I didn't know what I should say, what I shouldn't say, because of spoilers or whatnot. But now there's some things that I do want to say because you can just kind of go online. If you've been reading Ryan Reynolds' Twitter, you already can get some of the stuff from it. And there's just some stuff that I legitimately do want to touch on now. That after watching it like 6 times, I want to go into a little bit more in depth and just give my thoughts out there for it. Like, for instance, the action in this movie is some of the best action I've ever seen in my life. It's so smooth and not like super cutty. You know how like in a lot of action movies and films now, they'll cut every time they throw a punch. They'll throw a punch like boom, cut, so you can't see what the fuck's going on. It's like taking ayahuasca and LSD together, then walking into that one house that turns upside down. You don't know what the fuck's going on. It's crazy, it's wild, and it's fucking bizarre. You can't pay attention to any of it. But with this movie, they do this long, drawn-out shots where they take it away. They do cut every now and then in the middle because it is an action sequence. They have to do that for the actors to be able to get some of their stuff done. Because like if you go to throw a punch, I don't know if any of you know this, but when people go to throw punches in like movies and stuff, they don't actually punch each other. Weirdly enough, they don't actually fight. They don't actually hit each other. They have the camera. I only know this because of Udis Honest. When they did like an acting thing, and the guys showed them how to do it. But they have the camera set up to where when they punch, it just looks like they hit. Like if I was to go like this, and like I did it in the right way, if you didn't know what I was doing, it would look like I just punched myself. Like, you know, they have it set up like that, so they have to cut to make certain things happen, but they do it. But a lot of the times, they keep like one little static shot. Like there's specifically one near the ending of the movie when the big group gets together. The what they call them, the others. They call them the others in the Borderlands, which I thought was really cool because I thought they're gonna make a Borderlands joke, the new Borderlands movie coming up or something, but they didn't. They just kept making jokes about how shitty Disney was, which I also loved that as well. I think that was very good. They also made jokes about how shitty Fox was and a lot of meta humor, which again I think I mentioned before is kind of my like. I know a lot of people hate it. People like don't like it and they think it's cheesy and it's overused, especially in the Deadpool films. But I love it, especially when Ryan Reynolds is doing it as Deadpool, because that just kind of that's the way when you watch a movie like this, you expect that to happen. So when you expect it to happen, but it's still clever in a way, it's outstanding. So it's really good. So meta humor is kind of like I like meta humor, reference humor. That's my sort of stuff that I do. But there's this one scene near the very end of it where the whole team gets together and they have all of them sitting there, and it's really it has one of the coolest build-up scenes to it, because like with the music and everything, and then you have they're all driving in a fucking Honda Odyssey. They're all driving in a fucking Honda Odyssey, and you have all these cool people, which everyone should know by now. There's Blade, Gambit, Elektra, Deadpool, X-23, and Logan. They're all in the little car. And, okay, I probably should mention this before. Spoilers, by the way. Some light spoilers, not like story spoilers, but maybe some cameo spoilers and just some like story beat spoilers. Some spoilers ahead, by the way. That's why I always wanted to do this, because there's other time I try not to spoil anything. This time I'm going to spoil things. So you have Blade. You have Wesley Snipes' Blade, which is a fantastic cameo, by the way. I remember watching those movies. He also brings back the one line, "Some motherfuckers stay trying to ice skate uphill." It was such a goofy line to hear from the Blade movie, and then I'm so happy they brought it back though, because it was a line that originally he said in, like, not an interview, but in like auditions for the movie or something, where he dubbed it, he improvised the line, and then they liked it so much they added it into the Blade movie, and then apparently everyone liked it so much that they put it into the Deadpool movie. And there's a really cool thing, if you have never seen the Blade trilogy, only watch Blade 1. Blade 2 is okay, but there's it's overly CGI'd, which kind of sucks, because Wesley Snipes literally knows martial arts. So that's why the first movie goes down so well, because he's actually using his talent that he knows how to use in order to make it better and make the fighting seem more realistic and everything, which it was. But then in the second movie, they do some crazy CGI bullshit where he's doing triple backflips, flying in the air, jumping from one building to another, and you can clearly tell it's fake. And I know it's early CGI, probably early 2000, I'd say 2008, 2009, I don't exactly know, but it's shitty quality. It's completely shit, and I hate it, and a lot of people disliked it. And then you get the third one. Third one's complete garbage. But if you didn't know, Ryan Reynolds is in the third Blade trilogy movie. He's in the third Blade movie, and the third Blade movie was a shit show to begin with. I don't have time to go into that now. I might do that again later, but it was a shit show. So Wesley Snipes didn't want to be in the movie because of the writers. There was everyone hated the script that they had. They thought it was really stupid and boring. And Wesley Snipes wanted to be out of the movie, so he would literally just fight the director. Apparently, he would just sit in his RV smoking weed and not doing anything. And he wouldn't talk to anybody, he wouldn't do shit. But then they bring in a bunch of other extra characters, like this vampire hunting squad, and Ryan Reynolds is part of the vampire hunting squad. But in Deadpool Wolverine, they have a really nice thing. I'm glad they buried the hatchet with this, because it was really nice. They have a really cool thing where, as Deadpool, Brian says something to Wesley Snipes, and he's like, "I thought you were retired." And he says it in a really funny voice, and then Blade comes back with, "Retarded?" He says... Which I don't know how they let them get away with that out of the Disney movie, but I'm so happy they did. So he comes back with the retarded, and then Deadpool keeps going on "No, I'm not trying to get canceled again, blah blah." And then Wesley Snipes' Blade says, "I don't like you," and then Deadpool's like, "You never did," which is a nice little callback to how on the Blade trilogy, him and Ryan hated each other. Well, Ryan didn't hate him. He said that he didn't like Ryan Reynolds. He said, I think he's called him annoying, and honestly, I can see that. If you have some dude, if you're in a movie you already don't like with a really bad script that's trying to take itself way too seriously, and you have some dude that's just trying to goof around the whole time, and Ryan Reynolds is literally Deadpool in real life. I just watched a little shitty interview with him where he interviews this guy who's in this movie with his wife, and that's his love interest. And then he goes up there, he's like, "Yep, I'm on meth. I'm on a meth binge right now. I've been on a meth binge for 6 months. I don't know if it was." So like him, the way he talks, he literally talks like Deadpool. And you're like, I saw a comment of someone saying, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool just like Tony Stark is Iron Man, and that's completely true. Like whenever I see anything about Deadpool, I just think Ryan Reynolds. So when you have a guy like that in your movie, and you already don't want to be in the movie, I can see how it would get kind of annoying. But it's so cool that they buried the hatchet to whatever. And then you have Channing Tatum's Gambit. And I honestly, most of this, I just want to talk about the others, like these specific cameos. Because I did some research on him, and I'd see, and Ryan Reynolds has put stuff on his Twitter now. Like, if you don't want to listen to me talk about it, just go on Ryan Reynolds' Twitter, where he talks about the people. And even Channing just came out in interviews saying stuff like he really owes Ryan for this and everything, because apparently there was I never knew about this. There was a Gambit movie in the making where Channing Tatum was meant to play Gambit, but it got completely scrapped, and it was completely overrun by corporates and everything, and he wasn't able to do it, which they hint at a lot in the movie, but not from specifically Ryan Reynolds himself, except for one line where he's like, "They called me the Gambit." He's like, "Are you sure you didn't just really want them to call you that?" Which I think is a reference to the fact that Channing Tatum really wanted to play Gambit, so he did really want people to call him that. And then as Gambit, Channing Tatum keeps having lines when they're about to do the thing when they're going to break into the big enemy's cave. They have a couple lines where he's like, they're talking about, we have to go back to for the worlds that we saved, the people that we all saved and everything. We had to do it for them. And then Channing's like, or the worlds we wanted to save, the ones we wanted to do. It's like him solemnly saying I wanted to do it and whatever. And then he gets to the big cave. He's like, "I'm about to make a name for myself here. You better tell me what you saw here today." And because he really wanted to play Gambit, and he wants people to know that he's gonna be a good one. And honestly, he's really good Gambit. I remember Gambit from the X-Men Origin film. That guy was pretty cool too. I like this character. I like the Gambit character, kind of like a lone ranger with magic cards, and he's just a magician who plays poker a lot. And I guess he doesn't play poker, but he deals cards. I love his character, love his little niche. I thought it was super cool. And seeing Channing Tatum play a superhero was amazing, because all I can remember him doing is shit from 21 and 22 Jump Street, where he's diving off buildings, climbing shit, doing overly athletic bullshit. And even in 22 Jump Street, there's Jonah Hill has a line where he's like, "What are you, fucking Spider-Man?" So I think it was set up really nicely. And then you have the Elektra, I don't know her name, Elektra's name. The actress who plays Elektra. I don't know her name, but I know she was in that really shitty Daredevil film. I never saw the shitty Daredevil film, but I know it was a shitty Daredevil film because Daredevil just kills people, and he just uses his superpowers to flirt with women, and it's just kind of a goober, and none of it really makes any sense. And Happy Hogan is in the movie, but he plays a different character named Foggy, and they were supposed to reference that in Spider-Man No Way Home, but they didn't. Yeah, I learned a lot about different things while doing this, because while I was watching the Deadpool Wolverine, I've also gone back and watched the other Deadpool films, and I've slowly realized that Deadpool, now that it's a trilogy, is probably my favorite franchise in general. It's not just Deadpool Wolverine probably is my new favorite superhero film, new favorite MCU film, whatever, new favorite Deadpool film. Actually, no, it is my new favorite Deadpool film, because I don't really like the second one. So in my ranking, it goes Deadpool Wolverine, Deadpool, then Deadpool 2. I've rewatched all of them, and I took a lot of notes on the first one, and that lead into the second one. I'm probably going to do a big trilogy video thing of going through all of them, because I really want to take the time out to appreciate these movies as it should be appreciated, and explain to people why I like them so much, whatever. But I'm getting off topic. Yeah, the action, I spoke a lot about, but the action of this movie is so fucking amazing. Dude, I was filling up my Spectral socks the entire time, okay? There was more semen guzzling out of my dick hole than there was blood in the movie, okay? It was it was fucking fantastic. I love how they don't just hide the blood, and they don't just cut away from the stabbing or whatever. You get to see Deadpool shove his blades into people. You get to see him rip people's heads off. You get to see Wolverine slash and fucking make marks against people. You get to see Blade literally take his knife, stab it through someone's head, and wrap their fucking tongue around them, and choke them with it. And you get to see Gambit fucking stab people with his little blade, his little staff thing, and stick him with magic cards, and you get to see him blow up. The gore is fantastic in it. that it's really good. Like, you can't have a movie like this without getting really gore with it. And I'm glad they never, like, took anything away from that. They just went hard with it. They got the budget for it. They knew they had the budget for it, thanks to Disney. Thank you, Disney, for the Disney budget, as Deadpool wanted to keep saying in the movie. And they went all out. Like I said, like they do this little cool. They come up with this cool music and everything. They do the little like team up thing, which every Deadpool movie has one. In the first one, it was him, Colossus, and Negasonic, and then in the second movie, it was Cable, Negasonic, Yukio, him, as in Deadpool, and Colossus. And they all roll up, and every time it's just a badass moment. It was just a badass moment to see all these people come together, this weird team that they just got together in like a really quick span, and they just worked their issues through, not their issues, but they just like worked right away. So they worked really well together and did everything, and then you just get this long like static camera shot of them all running to the henchmen and just completely fucking decimating them. But the thing is, if you look at it closely, and as I've seen it like 6 times, so every time I focus on a different character while I'm watching it, you can literally see each character doing their own thing in their like accurate sort of superhero kind of way that they should be doing it. Like, you see Elektra with their size holding them, being real nimble and being real smooth with it, going at it. You see Blade being all fucking badass, pulling his blades out, fucking real nice with it, real clean, and he pulls his fucking gun out, just goes like you can see Gambit doing his little twists and turns like an acrobat, fucking stabbing people with the not stabbing, but like placing the cards on people, do whatever. You see Deadpool with his katanas going off, slashing and dashing. You see Wolverine with his claws running up. You see them all like really go into their forms, and everything just looks really cool. And if you focus on all of them, they all have their own things to do. And even if you weren't focusing on all of them in the big fight scene, it comes to this little point where every single one of them gets their own little time to shine throughout of it. Like, you have one whole scene with Gambit, one whole scene with Blade, one whole scene with Elektra, one whole scene with X-23, one whole scene with Logan and Deadpool. They all get their own little moments in it that just really help compartmentalize and really help like flow the fight scene and everything, and it just looks fucking fantastic. And not only that one, there are 2 fights between Deadpool and Wolverine in this film, and both of them are fantastic. These 2 are the best people to have a fight scene together, because neither one of them can die, so they can literally just keep going all day and all night, which in the second fight, they actually do go all day and all night. And it's like, you don't really get tired of it. You don't get tired of seeing these people just slash each other, because it's really funny. You have Wolverine grunting, yelling, being all serious, being like combative, and focusing on the fight, and then you have Deadpool just being all like goofy and with his little cute little one-liners. And I especially love when every time he brings up the baby knife, he literally says, "Baby knife," and just stabs him with the fucking knife. I loved it. It was so fucking good. Like I said, most of the stuff I was talking about, you can kind of see on Reynolds' Twitter. He's been going on like on Twitter rant recently. Not like a rant, but he has like these long paragraphs of him talking about how the actors came to be, how he was really excited to have all of them. He wouldn't have done the movie without them. He wanted them specifically. And I think Ryan is a very big part of Ryan Reynolds is a very big part of what makes these movies amazing. Not only because he's playing Deadpool, but he also seems like he was really pushing for a lot of these people to be in the movie when a lot, like maybe the Disney execs didn't want them to be, and maybe people were fighting back against it. It seems like he was really, really pushing for this to happen. Like, he really, because he knew, like, I think he's a nerd, comic book nerd. I'm going to say that safely. He's probably a comic book nerd, so he seems to have paid attention to like the stuff in the past that have happened and the stuff people liked in the movies, and the things that people liked, people didn't like. And he's also credited as a writer on this film too, which is really good, because I think he also helped write the other 2 films. Wasn't credited. He kind of had like improv lines, and he helped make the character what it was, and then told people how he wanted Deadpool to be played. And I think they just let him play it that way. But like, I think Ryan is a very big part of what, even Channing Tatum said it, that he was a really big part of what pushed them to be in this movie, like the cameos and the stuff that happens in it. It's him is a big part of what pushed that into the fruition. So it's really cool to see him. You can really tell from the jokes that Deadpool says during the film that there's this one where he's talking to Elektra, and he talks about how like, Daredevil died, and Daredevil was played by that dude that played Batman, not Matt Damon. His name's not Matt Damon. Why did I think it's Matt Damon? I know his name. The guy that played Batman and Batman v Superman and the Justice League movies. Okay, I can't remember his fucking name right now. It's gonna come to me in like 5 minutes. I'm just gonna shout it out. But so him and that girl who played Elektra got married after they were both in Daredevil together, because the guy who played Batman also played Daredevil. But then they got divorced, and then he went back and dated J-Lo, But so that's why in the movie, Deadpool's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And Elektra's like, it's fine. And it's like a little hint in Metaverse talking about how she dated the dude for real life and she's like, it's fine. Or whatever. But yeah, like, and then there's like this whole big thing where he's talking about the comic accurate suit that Deadpool is wearing. And he like looks at the cameras like, that only took 20 fucking years. And like, you can tell he paid attention to the way these movies are made, and he paid attention to a lot of it, and everything like that. And I think that's really good. It makes the movie really, really amazing. But yeah, on his Twitter, he keeps having things like, oh, I enjoyed playing this character with this point. I wouldn't have had anyone else. This is why I like them. This is whatever. He talks about. He gives them props. He gives them grand gestures and everything. And again, I think that's really cool to have that in your film. And then I got to talk about the best action scene in the film, and probably the best opening credit scene ever of all time. Major spoilers for this. If you're gonna watch the film, just cut it off right here and don't fucking listen to me ramble anymore, because this is probably one of the best scenes to just watch when you don't know it's fucking coming. I saw some spoilers for the film. This is one of the ones I didn't see, and oh my god, it blew my fucking mind. So, in the very beginning of the film, he goes and digs up Logan's grave, the one Logan from Logan, the movie Logan, which I just watched that today at work while I was working. Very fucking amazing film. I forgot how fucking cool that one was. So he digs up the grave, finds out that Logan's actually dead, and instead of, putting the body back or whatever, the TVA comes to fight him. They say, put your weapons down. We want to take you back to the TVA. You're wanted for time crimes or whatever. And he says, I'm not going to give you my weapons, but I won't use them. And he does it. What he does is he uses all the bones of Wolverine's dead body, his adamantium skeleton, to fight like 50 TVA agents. And I don't know why they sent this many. After like the first 10 died, if I was the dude running it, I would have just cut him off. I would have said, fuck that, I'm done. They clearly aren't going to win this. The dude's fucking insane. He's ripping apart dead body parts and throwing them at us and choking us with them, hitting us in the nards and shit. Like, he throws bones at people, like a smooth bones, and they stab themselves into their chest and shit. Alright? I'm not fucking with that. Before he does it, he says, there's 236 bones in the human body. I think that's right. I don't know if that's right. There's 236 bones in the human body. 237 when I'm watching Gossip Girl, which is a reference to the fact that Blake Lively, his wife, plays the main girl in Gossip Girl, which is really neat. It's really nice. Yeah, so he just keeps throwing these bones around, but while he throws the bones all the time, you have Bye 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 by the Backstreet Boys fucking playing. So it's just a fucking amazing scene. And then it cuts away from him killing them all to him doing the little dance. It's like bye 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 bye. He just dances in the middle of it, and it's all in this nice, pure white, snowy background. And I think they did this on purpose, specifically because the red blood would showcase more overlaid by all the snow and everything. Also, the TVA uniforms are black and orange, so having a nice white background while they're bleeding to death, having gray bones be thrown at them with their giant uniforms and Deadpool's red and black uniform, it just really pops, and it really like accentuates the action. And it's just really good. Like I said, he does one where he literally stabs a bone into some guy's bone, and the guy just like screams, and he does the thing where he goes bye bye bye, smacking the dude with the fucking skull of Wolverine. A lot of it doesn't make sense because he has the whole body at one point, and then it just cuts to him having like parts of the arms and stuff, and ripping the legs off. So it's not like in sequence, but it's still badass. But every time he throws the bones, there's someone's name that worked on the movie, like on the bone, or sometimes it's just on the side screen. But then as like he'll flip a guy over, he'll flip them into the credits, so it will like move the credits and everything. And it's just really clever, and it's really good, and it's very, very unique. It's now my favorite opening credit scene of any film fucking ever. Deadpool 2 had a really good one with like the whole Mission Impossible, like Hitman-esque type thing with that small, smooth little song. You saw Deadpool different things, and it was like going through bullet holes and had like references to what was going to happen in the movie. But this was overly fantastic. And I want to touch on one thing before I end it, because I think I'm going to end it soon. The reason I said I don't like Deadpool 2 is my least favorite one is because a lot of people say I really like it because it has Cable in it, and it's really good. It is really good. All three movies are fucking fantastic, but the second one just drags on with certain stuff for way too fucking long. And I didn't like Russell as a character. He never really hit for me. The motivation for why Deadpool like wanted to take care of him never hit for me either. I get is because Vanessa told him to, But if she never did it, that whole relationship would not make any sense. Like, okay, look, think about the movie. If he never goes to what hell is or whatever. I also have a really fun theory that I think Vanessa's actually death, not what she is in the comics. People, the shapeshifter think she's in the comics. I think she's actually might be death. Which I want to talk. I might make a video about that later too. But so if Vanessa never tells Deadpool to take care of the kid, then Deadpool doesn't give a fuck about this kid, like, at all. Like, they never really cement their relationship. They never really get the father-son dynamic down right. And Russell's just kind of annoying. He just, like, yells things, cuss words. It doesn't really do much for me. Like, I don't get it. I don't like his character. It never really hit. Like, it's good, I guess, but I just don't like it. But the movie is good, but a lot of stuff just drags on way too long. There's a lot more of, like, them talking, them getting emotional. There's that one scene where he's got his legs cut off and he's gonna regrow them. They're all in Blind Al's house and his house, and they're just talking back and forth for like 20 minutes, expositing, and it's not really that funny. It's not really that cool. The funniest part about this scene, it's supposed to be that he has tiny baby legs and people just keep commenting on them. And like after like the second time, we get it. It's whatever, you know. But the first one doesn't have that. The first one is just like, the first one I really like because it cuts back from action sequence to cool flashback that leads back into the action sequence to like a fun, cool flashback that leads back into the action sequence for like the first 40 minutes of the movie, and then it gets to like the end plot of the thing in like the last 30 minutes, and it never seems to like slow down or stop itself. Whereas the second one really just seems, ironically, the second one movie that's all about time seems to waste a lot of it. You know, maybe it's because we're going for a longer runtime, as Deadpool says in the third one. Audiences are just to do a longer runtime, but yeah. The Deadpool Wolverine. Now it's not a 12-minute video anymore. This is now like a 30-minute video, probably less than that, probably 28 because I got to cut some stuff out. But about how cool the movie was and how cool the action sequences was. It was just, the action sequence was really good. The comedy really hits. I especially love like the second fight between him and Wolverine was super fucking funny because it all takes place in one tiny little area, but it still seems big and extravagant. I don't know how they managed to do that. Cameos were fucking amazing. I loved it. The end credit scene was hilarious. The one Wolverine with the motorcycle, when you guys see what I'm talking about, fucking amazing. I just really liked it. I thought it was really good. Like I said, I think I could give it like a 9.5 out of 10 because there were some stuff that, whatever, that I didn't like. Like the narrative doesn't really make a whole lot of sense if you pay attention to it a lot. It kind of jumbles around a lot. It jumps to conclusions. It tries to get to one place after another by just like getting there really quickly. And that's not a bad thing because a lot of it's okay because when they do get there, it does make sense. It's just really quick and they don't explain a lot. Like they never really explain how the certain people got to the void. They just kind of say, "Oh, we're just here and this is us." Like they never like why those certain people were picked, why they're there on purpose. You kind of got to figure out from like a meta standpoint. A lot of the narrative beats, like I said, if you pay attention to them too much, they don't really work, and they mess up with the timing and like the lore of the MCU for a lot. But I don't really think that matters. Like I said, it's a goofy comic book film where if you like suspend your disbelief, like in superhero movies, you can just suspend your disbelief. So especially stuff like this, we have Deadpool breaking the fourth wall all the time because you know it's funny, it's goofy, and you got to give it some little leeway here and there. But yeah, like it doesn't, like a lot of it doesn't really. You know, it doesn't do it for me. But like I said, with the comedy, the action, the cameos, all of that, it really makes up for a lot of what the narrative lacks. So it's very good. Very fun movie. Very great. Highly recommend you watch it. Like I said, and I probably am going to do like a fully in-depth guide of all three. That's what I've been working on recently. I also have another video coming out soon. It's going to be about Trap, that shitty M. Night Shyamalan movie. And this is the point where I just ramble. So if you want to stop now, you can just leave. You probably weren't here anyway. Afterwards, if you were here and you have seen Deadpool Wolverine, comment down below what your favorite part of the movie was. Yeah, so I'm going to have a thing come about Trap. It's like an hour, 40 minutes, because I did my thing where I talk way too long again. Just like I did here, I talk way too long. I wasn't going to talk this long, but I did. I always seem to do that. Because I'm always like, okay, I have little ideas, small ideas, and then I just ramble about the same stuff over and over again. And then I look back and footage like not the same stuff. I say it in a different way, but I also say it in the same way. And then I just do stuff like this, so I just ramble more at the end. And I don't know when to end it because I just like to talk. I think talking to a camera is great. I like doing it. It makes me happy. So, yeah. Plus, I just keep looking at this fucking sweatshirt. God, it's so fucking cool, man. Oh, I love it. Oh, look at me. You just I'm trying to do like, how do I get like both eyes? I fucking love it. I fucking love this hoodie. Yeah, good fucking film. Great, fantastic thing. Don't bring your family to it. It's not family friendly. Don't bring grandma to this film, unless your grandma's sadistic. Then I would say bring your grandma to this film. But yeah, I said it's all around. I think it's a perfect comic book Marvel superhero film. I think they should start taking notes from now on. I think Ryan Reynolds should do what James Gunn has done and just like become a creative director of Marvel. I think him being at the head front will fucking be amazing. Will he probably try to wrap everything around Deadpool? Yes. Is that going to be epic? Probably. But yeah, I don't think I have much to say. But besides that, I think it'd be cool. And the last thing, thank you for watching. If you did, I appreciate you watching. But appreciate you being here if you are. I appreciate you listening to me ramble. If you did, I appreciate the support. It's been great. Thank you for watching. And I will find out why Thor was crying.